Now, I don't know if everybody's talking about this film or nobody's talking about it, but I wanted to contribute to the conversation because if you haven't seen Always Be My Maybe, what are you doing? It's a film that was just put on Netflix last week on May 31st. It had a limited release May 29th. Boy, it is one of those films that reminded me why I want to do that for a living, because it's just so good and wholesome and nice and well executed, and I have so many good things to say about it. I'm Emma, by the way, and I'm gonna talk about Always Be My Maybe right now. It was directed by Nahnatchka Khan, who, boy, I can barely pronounce anything, and I couldn't find a way to pronounce her name online, but she's incredibly talented. She's an executive producer on Off the Boat. I think she writes for it as well. And one of her first writing gigs was on Pepper Ann, which is a Disney cartoon I watched growing up, so I am immediately a fan of this woman. Additionally, the film stars Randall Park, very talented, and Ali Wong, who might as well be on a pedestal for me because I have loved her 2 stand-up specials on Netflix. And if you haven't seen those, what are you doing? Why isn't everyone on the Ali Wong bandwagon that I am spearheading personally? So the film is about Sasha and Marcus, who are essentially each other's boy next door, girl next door, and they're really, really close until Marcus's mother dies, and that kind of spears them separating for 16 years, and that's where the film really starts. So now, 16 years later, like I said, Marcus and Sasha are living their own lives completely separate from each other. Sasha is a nationally renowned restaurateur. She's a chef. She's incredibly successful, and she's back in San Francisco to help start up one of her restaurants, make sure everything is going well before going to New York. Marcus is working with his dad, and they're doing like a father-son air conditioning business, but he's also still playing in his band from 16 years ago, and that's where his real passion is. Then ooey gooey rom-com plot ensues, and you can pretty much predict what will happen based on that. If you haven't realized the importance of this film by now, this diversity on screen with 2 Asian leads is so rare in the film industry. Crazy Rich Asians really blew that out of the park, but other than that, there aren't too many films with this level of diversity in the cast, especially not rom-coms. There are so few Asian male leads and female leads. There just aren't a lot of Asian leads in rom-coms at all that I can think of off the top of my head. So that is really, really cool, and I'm totally for it. More, please. I can't get enough. Another thing I really appreciated with this film is that Randall Park, I adore him. I think he's cute as a button. And I will say, he is not shredded, which I hope is not an insult to him. I think it's nice to see a man who is not totally ripped. I worry about male peak physique nowadays where it's like, I don't know, 7% body fat and abs and a 6-pack. So it's nice to see some other male representation on screen. And something I have to give to Khan, which is really impressive, is to have a film with starring a big comedian who isn't just improvising the whole time. I'm thinking of films with Farrell and Carey, and sometimes the Judd Apatow films to a way lesser extent. There are moments where it just feels like we got off script because the comedian just starts doing their own thing. And Ali Wong does that once or twice, but not to the detriment of her character. We still see Sasha the whole time. We don't see Ali Wong playing Sasha. So Ali Wong hits those darker tones really well, which I wouldn't always expect a stand-up comedian to be able to do. And the film does hit all the notes a true rom-com should hit. You got your inconvenient significant others, your they were made for each other's, the declaration of love, the big fight, the speech at the end that we've heard a million times, and now we're gonna hear it 1,000,001 because it's all there, and that works for me. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure how much of a surprise it is, but it was a surprise to me that there is a celebrity cameo, kind of. It's a celebrity playing himself, and he's there for several scenes, and I love it. I love it so much that I'm not going to tell you any more about it, and if you are not convinced to watch this movie, you should because of this, because it's hilarious and perfect, and I want to watch it again. That being said, I don't know if hitting all the notes that a true rom-com would is the best for this film. I really enjoyed it, but it brings so much new to the table that I would have liked to see it maybe step a little bit further and not have that huge breakup and get back together. I wonder when the rom-com genre will kind of be redone in the way that Seth Rogen has redone comedy recently. I'm just a huge Seth Rogen fan, and I think what he does is really clever with a lot of his films, and it's forcing comedy to be something more than just riding off the fame of a comedian. This film does that with the comedy aspect, but not with the rom-com aspect. It's still really, really good. It did bring into question for me, I wonder what the roles would have been like if they were reversed, because we see those successful women films, or successful women rom-coms with kind of the slubby boyfriend. Now, Marcus is not slubby. He's really, really happy with what he's doing, but he is kind of not the huge success in the way that Sasha is. So I wonder what those roles reversed would be like. I haven't seen any films like that as far as I can remember. That being said, Always Be My Maybe, such a good film. I am loving the explosion of Ali Wong, and I can't wait to see what she does more in the future. This has turned me on to Randall Park, and Nahnatchka Khan, I'm so sorry. Milo's sorry too. She is an incredible director, and I hope she keeps doing more films like this. I want to go watch Fresh Off the Boat because I haven't, because I'm a terrible person. The writing, directing, acting of this film was just so nice and tied in a cute little bow, and I hope I have convinced you to watch this film because it's really, really awesome. Do people still say awesome? I'm not sure. So that's it from me today. Have you seen Always Be My Maybe? If you have, leave it in the comments below so we can talk about it and be amazed by it. And if you have any movie recommendations that you want me to go see or review, or just things you like, let me know in the comments below. I've got a blog where I talk about the movies that I've watched. I'm trying to watch 365 movies this year, and I am so far behind. And if you want to see how I made this sweatshirt, you should subscribe. It doesn't have anything to do with movies, but I made it and I'm gonna post a video about it. I think that's it from me today, guys. I hope you'll see me next time. Bye bye. This is the source of the meows, in case you're curious. Oh, hello. Hi. You are noisy when I film. That's okay. I love you. I'm gonna turn the camera off now. Bye bye.